It's funny. I said something about Nebraska. I thought Graham Mertz was playing well, or not Nebraska, Wisconsin. I thought Graham Mertz played well after the first couple weeks, and then they run out there and don't score a point in the second half.
We've
Run
seen this
game.
Graham Mertz
It's
facade
just,
before.
yeah, I
He's
know,
tricked us in
man.
the
So it's
past.
like, it's one of those things where I was like, all right, maybe Wisconsin can, especially with Braylon Allen back there. Like, that kid's special, but when you're that one dimensional and you're playing teams like Purdue and Minnesota who can go out and put up 50, it's hard. So yeah, I mean, I think it is, I'm, like I said, I think those two teams I just mentioned are the two teams I'm looking at right now. To be able to rise from the ashes, because I think Iowa's done. And if we're
Yeah,
talking about
they
that, I
are.
can't wait. I think that they're in a really, really tough spot. But yeah, I mean, I think the West is wide open, and it would be nice to see another program kind of come out other than just here comes Wisconsin again in the Big Ten championship game for another,
Yeah.
35-point game that Ohio State or Michigan or Penn State in recent history wins. So
Yeah.
you know,
I think you're on it. On this Wisconsin thing too, man. I flip on the tape. That's I'm on the call for their game this weekend. And Washington State comes out, and we did this to Wisconsin in 2014, but they basically said, listen, we're going to play man-to-man. We're going to get a man advantage in the box because your quarterback can't run. We're going to get our safeties down on tight ends. We're going to gum things up. And if you can beat us on the edges, then you beat us on the edges.
have at it.
And Wisconsin moved the ball in that game, certainly, but they could not finish drives.
Yep.
They could not sustain. And that's going to be their biggest problem. And this is a copycat game. If I'm a defensive coordinator, what am I going to do? I'm rolling out straight man-to-man. And if you can beat me over the top, then I'm a dumbass and you deserve to win. But the odds are that they're not going to be able to do it. It's wild. And you mentioned the Iowa thing. I mean, my God. I cannot put into words how wild it is watching their offense. The only touchdown they have scored this season, they got the ball on the 16-yard line going. That's it.
It's I said it before, it could be historically bad. Iowa's at least had something that they can build off of, because I mean, let's cut. They're a pound the rock, work off play action team. They've been that forever, but they've had the pieces to do that. They've been able. I mean, what are they averaging? Like a yard and a half, maybe a carry.
I can look that
throughout
up.
the season. It's like 1.2 yards a carry, probably something like that. Like, if you can't establish that at Iowa, you're putting then a kid in Spencer Petras who I'm just going to take away what's happened the last couple of weeks, but like, that's what he does efficiently is work off play action, those types of things, have some guys running naked, kick it out to the flat, and just keep them on schedule. You don't have the ability to work off that. You're putting him in a really bad situation. And outside, you don't really have guys who can separate consistently on one-on-one. So yeah, I mean, they're just in a rock and a hard place, dude. And I don't know if it's a philosophy change. I don't know if they have the personnel for it. So they're going to have to really grind this out this year and figure some stuff out, because it's a shame. That defense is a good unit. And, you're going to waste a good defense this year, having some offensive struggles that I haven't seen in college football in a long time.
Yeah, Iowa is dead last in total yards. They are dead last in yards per play at 2.8. The next team is Massachusetts, 3.36 yards per play. I mean, it's staggering how bad this offense is.
It's nuts. So they got their work cut out for them. And that's another thing that's interesting is, Kirk Ferentz and Brian Ferentz, they've been cozy there. I don't know if you can recover from a year like this, because they've never had this. They're a cyclical program, but they've still competed, man.
Listen, man,
like,
but
I don't think they can compete.
Kirk is untouchable, though. Like, I mean, you're going to be the AD that fires that guy? No, you're not. You're not going to do that. And if I had a son who was my offensive coordinator, do you think I'm firing him?
No.
Why would I fire my kid? And especially if I'm untouchable, I'm going to be employed regardless.
I agree with you, but it's like I said, man, it's interesting though. And that's the thing where, like, this is where I can go back to the Nebraska thing. And I was listening to this on the radio the other day. I think it was the Paul Feinbaum show or something like that. But they were talking about this. They were talking about Nebraska. Guy. Oh, I was just listening to it. That's what I drive around, you know. And now that I'm doing this stuff, I try to keep my mind stimulated. But I was listening to it, and someone was talking about Nebraska and how they handled that whole Scott Frost thing headed in even before the season. Like, if that was a Fortune 500 company, there's no like family this, family that. Like, that's why family businesses struggle, right? Like, they make decisions that are best for the program and the shareholders in the program, or the shareholders in that business. So, like, if you're Iowa, I understand it, but at the end of the day, if you're making the best decision for the health and state of the program, like, Kirk, thank you. You did your job. You kept Iowa relevant. They have an established culture. They have a seat in college football because of your reign here. But we got to start evolving a little bit, maybe, and we got to start reevaluating this, and how we do that. You know, I don't know. I'm not calling for the guy's head. I'm not saying it's
no. I know you're not.
I think he's one of the best coaches in the Big Ten consistently. I'm not taking that away from him. But what I'm saying is when you hit a brick wall like this, I think it's kind of been a long time coming.
Yeah.
Unless you can really rebound next year, which is going to take recruiting, transfer portal, all this stuff, which I was really not known for. They're more of a development, get guys in, you know, their guys. It's going to be hard because this fan base is starting to expect more. Yeah. And when the expectation rises, when the floor rises, the ceiling only continues to get higher.
But I don't know if it's that they're expecting more, or if they expect that they can do what the program has built to well, right? And so where I agree with you but disagree in this situation is there is not a singular Iowa fan out there that expects to compete for a national title in any year. What they expect to compete for is a Big Ten championship and probably a New Year's Six bowl game berth. And if they can do that, that is a successful year. We're not talking about a team that national championship is their outset at the beginning of the year. I know everybody's in it to win games. So
when's the last time Iowa won a Big Ten championship?
That's a good question. They played for one in 15 and lost that one to Michigan State, and then they played for the one this past year. Let me look that up. But that's kind of like
the hunt. But
like last year being in Indy was so wild because you're looking at Iowa fans and they're like, oh, well, we had a good year. We're just happy to be here.
Yeah,
like they fully expected to get their butt whooped by Michigan. It's 2004 was the last time. I believe they shared that one with Michigan, as a matter of fact. That they had a Big Ten championship, and then they claimed division titles in 15 and 21 and played in the Big Ten championship game. So, like for that program, hell of a season, right? Yeah. So if Kirk Ferentz maybe demotes his son and convinces them that they can get back to a position where they're in the hunt in the West next year, like I think that's a win for them. I don't expect wholesale changes, nor does that program really need wholesale changes. I think they need one change, and that's to get the offense moving the damn football, because the way they play defense and special teams around there,
it's phenomenal.
It's not like they're getting blown out in these games. They lost by 3 points. Most teams, you say if you held a team to 10 points, you win the game 99% of the time. It's not like the bar is very high for outscoring your opponents. We'll have a lot of conversation on this throughout the year.
What's going on, guys? Rob Dauster here, the founder of the Field of 68 and the Field of 12 Media Networks. I wanted to take a quick minute to let you guys know about an exciting new project that we have been working on for the last 3 months. The Almanac, an all-encompassing preview of the 2022-23 college basketball season. We spoke with every single Division I head coach to give you a robust and accurate preview for all 363 Division I college basketball teams. We have predictions for conference finishes for all 32 leagues. We have features on the best freshmen, the best big men, the breakout stars, the coaches on the hot seat, so much more. It is 600,000 words of sheer happiness for the college basketball fan. in your life. The Almanac is going to be available for digital purchase on September 26th for just $19.99, but you can pre-order it today using the promo code HOOPS and save 20%. Just hit the link in the description below.